Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to another WWE Updates video. It is our first pay-per-view post the WWE World Grand Prix. We're now at Survivor Series, and we are pretty much looking to get a good show here. We're looking to kick on, get back into storylines, get back into storytelling as well, and hopefully build up a good couple of cards on the various, pay-per-views coming up that are going to be brand exclusive. So these kind of events where the brands come together can be the best shows possible. Now, what I will say is we have this error apparently. Like, if I hover over Run Show, it says there is a good chance the actual text that was coming up at the time was there is issues apparently that would be told in analysis, and when I go to analysis there is no problems found. We've got our storytelling match. The show can't be started, but the analysis screen shows some potential issues. It's not a skin glitch because our skin was getting it as well, and it's not for lack of females because I put a 5v5 female match in and that didn't change anything. I may have a couple of female women's matches on already, but hopefully it's a good show. There is one storyline I do need to explain, but I'll explain that at the time, how it's going to work. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoy Survivor Series. So this may be a complete disaster, it may be a success, but until we know what this is, I don't know. It's been a while ago since this will go live that I put this up on the Booker section, so we may have a solution by now, but we got to go for it so I can keep on playing the game. So we go, this is WWE Survivor Series 2017. So we start off in front of 53,239 people at the Liberty Bowl, and it's an A93 hyping up Sami Zayn versus John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The Battle of the Grand Prix storyline advances. The show went off to a strong start and the crowd got a little hotter, but an A93, delighted with that. So good hype going into that matchup later on tonight. Our opening contest was about that had some great wrestling and good heat, and we had The Miz defeat Samoa Joe in 14:35 by pinfall via a handful of tights. The Miz makes defense number 3 of the United States Championship. I just felt Joe was a good person to go against The Miz here. This was kind of last minute booked, but the Miz flicking a victory here against Samoa Joe. A B81's decent, get the crowd hotter. Joe gets a 76, The Miz gets a 92, and he retains his title. No skill improvements, a few negatives there, lack of storyline, and such, but there's a few things that happen after that may start a storyline. So The Miz basically just says, I'm the best, United States champion of all time, I'm beating folk like Samoa Joe, etc, and a good solid B80 promo. And this results in Samoa Joe then beating The Miz down. Thinking he can be arrogant and cocky because he's got the victory here. So Joe beats him down, bit of revenge, B plus 84, and The Miz was a real star. Joe was underwhelming. Probably make this the storyline. If not, I'll maybe make it a rematch on Raw. But we'll see what happens with this one. So no skill improvements, but overall, decent start to the show. Next up, it was a Cruiserweight matchup, and it was a poor match. Kenny Omega defeated Jushin Thunder Liger, Tyson Kidd, the debuting Tony Nese, and Ricochet in a scramble match in 13 minutes. After scoring the most pinfalls, Kenny Omega makes defense number 5 of the Cruiserweight Championship. A C65, I'll take it. Tony Nese debuted a cocky youth gimmick, get an initial rating of average. Ricochet get a 62, Liger a 48, Tyson Kidd a 63, Tony Nese a 55, and a 62 for Kenny Omega. Tyson Kidd improving performance skills, so that's pretty decent. A few negatives here, Jushin Thunder Liger for a few, but it's a good opportunity to use him. A few low morales. Next up, and about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Charlotte defeated Paige in 16:27 by pinfall in a B82. This was a good victory for Charlotte. Of course, she was going for #1 contendership, although Emma not fully healed from her injury. Great chemistry, it's good. Charlotte with a 79, Paige with an 82, and it continues the women's division storyline on SmackDown. No skill improvements though. Negatives here, just Charlotte's inconsistency, but we'll have Charlotte versus Emma when Emma's back from her injury. And after the match, we just have a handshake and it's just them congratulating each other. A nice B plus 84 segment, just getting Emma on television. As I say, we can use her in angles, we can use her in matches, but it's one of those injuries that take a big toll on the wrestler when they're competing. Next up, we had an ECW Showcase match, a 5v5, and about that subpar wrestling and little heat. It was the team of Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Jervis Cottonbelly, Shane Strickland, and John Morrison, defeating the team of Sheamus, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, Cody Rhodes, and Chris Hero, who will now get signed up to ECW, in 16:30 when Jervis Cottonbelly defeated Cody Rhodes by pinfall with a bridging vertical suplex. A C64, you may be wondering, what crazy booking. But I'm going to let Cody Rhodes go, his contract's going to expire. I'm going to let him do what he's doing in real life, tour the independents, really get over with a view to bringing him back down the line. And it's going to be funny if we really push Jervis Cottonbelly, so delighted with that. 64 for John Morrison, a 44 for Shane Strickland, 58 for Jervis Cottonbelly, 57 for Will Ospreay, 63 for Zack Sabre Jr., 57 for Chris Hero, 50 for Cody Rhodes, 56 for Dash Wilder, 49 for Scott Dawson, and a 59 for Sheamus. So the showcase the guys who'll probably make it to Raw and SmackDown eventually, but for now we're in ECW. Performance and skills upgrades for Chris Hero, John Morrison, and Scott Dawson. Dawson also improves his technical skills, and Will Ospreay improves his rumble. But overall, holding back, a few negatives for everybody there. Still a decent reign, all things considered. Next up, we had our Trios Championships on the line, and in a decent match, it was the Wyatt Family, Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, and Luke Harper, defeating the champs Flamita, Ichikero, and Kalisto, and of course Chris Hero and Enzo and Big Cass with the other team, in 16:51, when Braun Strowman defeated Ichikero by pinfall with a big splash. Baron Corbin and the Wyatt Family, or the Wyatt Family now, are the Trios champions. So B82, in terms of in-ring work, Luke Harper was far and above everyone else. Didn't really have anything for Enzo and Big Cass, so just thought to throw them in here. And the Luchador Trios just didn't work. Luke Harper looked good out there though. Kalisto with a 60, Ichikero with a 56, Flamita with a 58, Luke Harper with a 94, Baron Corbin 84, Braun Strowman with an 80, 69 for Chris Jericho, and a 57 for Enzo, 67 for Big Cass. Continues the New Age of Wyatt storyline, although that will probably come to an end soon. Cass improving technical skills, as is Braun Strowman, Kalisto and Rumble. But considering the holding back and a few other negatives, it's still a pretty good rating. Disappointing actually, that's 2 matches in a row that they are holding back, not very common. Anyway, after it, Bray Wyatt comes down, joins the rest of the family, and they just have a promo. So Bray's got a gimmick that's getting stale, but he's still over as hell, and it's a solid A94. Luke Harper is developing better performance skills as well, and just limited for being short. Next up, in a decent matchup, we had Bayley defeat Sasha Banks in 15:33 by pinfall. Bayley becomes the new women's champion. Just felt it was right to put the championship on her. And that was a B78, so a good matchup there. Bayley with a 76, Sasha with a 71. Continues their storyline, but gives us a new champion. And we can start bringing up more women in that division. No skill improvements. Dirt sheet. Just the inconsistency of Bayley. And after it, Bayley celebrates. Not going to quite get confetti just yet. We get the wacky inflatable tube men, or waving whatever they are. B plus 85. And just overall a good moment for Bayley that you would expect in the main roster. Next up, and about that had great wrestling and good heat, Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Dolph Ziggler in 17:43 by pinfall via the Kinshawa. Damn it! I'm going to get it right eventually one week. With his running knee strike to the face, which put Dolph Ziggler out. We'll call it that. Kinshawa. We'll get it right one week. Anyway, B plus 86. I'm just going to continue listening to Corey Graves, just calling it every week. Kinshasa. I don't know how I just cannot say it. But anyway, Nakamura with 93, Ziggler with 84. No doubt everybody was sitting there face palming, just about to give me abuse for that pronunciation, but It would continue their feud, but there is plans for Dolph Ziggler, which you can hear about later on in this episode. Ziggler improves performance skills, Nakamura and performance. But a good win for Shinsuke. I'm happy with that. Next up in a decent matchup, we had American Alpha defeat System X, Gallows and Anderson and the Vaudevillains. In 1733, when Chad Gable defeated Luke Gallows by pinfall, American Alpha winning the WWE World Tag Team titles. B-72. Now, the decision to put the titles on a Raw team, the title belts go to Raw. SmackDown then gets the SmackDown Championships that they have in real life, which I'll just take as the World Tag Team Championships that got retired and change the picture. So they become both brands of tag divisions and tag titles, which again just gives more things to work for and allows me to use more teams and big intense storylines. So disappointing with the rating, I suppose. Simon Gotch was slowed down and had to be protected for some reason. He's so over though, the Vaudevillains have really done well. But good scores, 71 for Chad Gable, 71 for Jason Jordan, a 72 for Vegeta, 74 for Hashimoto, 80 for Carl Anderson, 76 for Gallows. I'm looking to split Gallows and Anderson soon. Simon Gotch with 78 and a 75 from Aiden English. It continues this tag storyline, which isn't really going to go much longer because it's going to be 2 divisions. No skill improvements, and a few negatives there. And after it, we have the same as we did with Bayley. Nice little segment for American Alpha. You go and celebrate with the fans, and it's a B80 segment. Next up, a 5-on-5 match. Again, giving some of the main talents a chance, so they're not happy. And we'll just say a traditional Survivor Series match, even though not really. And I bet they had some good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. It was a team of AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Rusev and Del Rio, defeating Apollo Crews, Finn Balor, Rey Mysterio, and Woods and Kofi Kingston in 1852, when AJ defeated Xavier Woods with a springboard 450 splash. Disappointed that it's a B78. Xavier Woods has got Berry's gimmick. Kofi's not suited to his, although he is hinting at a future heel turn, which I do want to give him eventually. I was going to give it to Xavier, but Xavier's new gimmick as a face was excellent, so probably Kofi's going to turn, give him one last run in the IC division. But Kofi with 71, Xavier 55, Rey Mysterio 64, Finn Balor with a 95, Apollo Crews 83, Del Rio 67, 83 for Rusev, 96 for Randy Orton, 80 for Kevin Owens, and 88 for AJ Styles. Kofi's the only one that improves performance skills. Overall, a good matchup to showcase some talents. The lack of storyline and a lot of low morales because of not being on shows is understandable. But again, that's going to build up when we get to brand exclusive pay-per-views, and hopefully most of our roster may actually like me after that. Next up, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens is coming up for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and that's an A92. The Battle of the Grand Prix storyline has advanced. And the matchup was okay. In an exceptional matchup, John Cena defeats Sami Zayn in 22:56 an attitude adjustment. This is a B plus 85. It's pretty good there. Wish it maybe was a wee bit higher, but Cena gets a 94 and Zayn gets a 95. Now you're wondering, why didn't I put the championship there? So this one I need to explain. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship, when I brought it back, it gave Cena an extra title run. And I do want to give Cena the most titles in history. That's definitely going to happen at one point. So with the extra World Heavyweight Championship run, he needs a title run where he doesn't technically get the title. So I'm going to kind of spoil it. It's not really spoiling what's going to happen in the next pay-per-view. This is between pay-per-views. Plan is, John Cena beats Sami Zayn, so John Cena's technically champion, if we just use our imagination. Bray Wyatt's so pissed off because of what's happened, defeats John Cena on SmackDown, so it's John Cena versus Bray Wyatt versus Sami Zayn. Bray Wyatt becomes the champion, and we go on with Bray Wyatt as champion. Cena technically is a 16-time champion, his reign's just in a different position, and then we can start a big storyline for Cena down the line where we're aiming to get 17 at one point. So technically Cena's the champion, or technically Sami Zayn, but Cena should be champion, and that storyline will move on as things develop. Sami Zayn improving performance skills though, and just a wee negative for both being baby faces. But I hope that can understand it, what we're trying to build here. And after the match, Bray Wyatt comes down, beats him down, and that's his intention that he is going to challenge for the championship. As I say, Bray Wyatt winning the championship means he will become SmackDown property, and we do have a big trade. So it's not really a draft, but it's just like a massive trade, just to kind of freshen things up, which we'll see the following trades happen. Going to Raw will be SmackDown's Dolph Ziggler, SmackDown's Mojo Rawley, and SmackDown's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, alongside ECW's The Revival. They will all go to Raw. Going to SmackDown will be Bray Wyatt. The Usos will go to Raw. Will go to SmackDown, sorry. Will Ospreay will go from ECW to SmackDown, and Manny Andrade, La Sombra, Zayn Almas, whatever he's called in real life, will also go to SmackDown. Both of those to compete within the Cruiserweight division. And ECW will receive Epico, Primo, and unfortunately for him, Hideo Itami, because he is struggling with declining physical ability, and we need to build up new stars. So that's to come in the future, just because of this whole thing with John Cena's title reign. That is why he won't be champion for long, but he is now technically a 16-time champion. That's the way I'm running it. Next up, we've got a promo from Eva Marie and Cesaro and A90, hyping up Cesaro's chances in the main event, which Eva Marie underperformed in. And I'm also forgetting, I think I might have made the main event a 6-way instead of a elimination chamber, so we'll see. Not that it really matters. But CM Punk has a promo on Roman Reigns, just saying he's going to defeat Roman Reigns. A92, CM Punk with very poor improvisation, but he's getting better at his gimmick. And that continues the storyline into the main event, which delivered. It wasn't in a steel cell, I believe, no. So it was just a normal 6-way match. That's cool. Technically you can get away with that at Survivor Series because it's still a 6-way. But in an exceptional matchup, Roman Reigns defeated Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Cesaro, CM Punk and Big E, when Roman Reigns defeated CM Punk in 33 minutes and 31 by pinfall. Roman makes defense number 5 of his WWE Championship title. A-Star 97, Roman just a great performance again from everyone. He's still champion going forward. Punk went 93, Ambrose went 96, Rollins went 95, Cesaro went 96, Big E went 90, and the champ, the guy, went 99. Continues that storyline, although it'll probably branch into a few different feuds now. No skill improvements, and a few negatives for CM Punk, and that's about it. But a solid main event. And we end the show with a guy celebrating the fact he's still the man. A91 came across a real star and is still champion. And it ends up again A93, so those issues that the game said we had, I don't quite know where they came from, because A93 increased their pop in 40 regions, and we were all over pay-per-view as far as I'm aware. So I think the 3 people we'll give morale boosts to will be CM Punk, Cesaro, and I think we'll go Big E. All strong performances in the main event. So I'm hoping the situation with the World Heavyweight Championship doesn't confuse you too much. But as I say, when we come back in the next episode, or sorry, 2 episodes down the line, when it's a SmackDown event, Bray Wyatt will be there and he'll be champion. John Cena will be on our next Raw pay-per-view, which will be the next pay-per-view. I think is TLC. Not 100%, it might be Armageddon. I'll need to double check that. So we can check it actually when we go to the main screen. So make the speech. Punk was pleased, Cesaro pleased, and Big E as well. So overall, pretty happy with that. Good show in there. I was under a bit of stress with the whole thing with whether the company was going to make a big mistake here, the way it was. So we're into December now. We get a 1.54, only 700,000 buys. Have we just done too many events? I think it might be too many events. As long as we're still making money, I says it's not too bad. Interesting to know if that is the case though. Anything else there that directly affects us? I don't think so. Oh, Rocky Romero would like a release. Rocky Romero is unhappy and wants to leave. He has requested to be released from his contract. As it is his request, you don't have to pay anything. I've not really done anywhere on ECW. I'll just let you go, buddy. So he's away. It's a shame, but never really did anything for him. And yay, Phil's arguing with people again. So Chris Hero wants a push. Bobby Roode will have to renew his contract. We finished first in Mexico and first in Japan. And he's finished his tour, so I might look at bringing him in because he's young enough that we could maybe do something with him. So who's Punk fell out with? Everyone against Luke Harper. Yep, Punk had fell out with Luke Harper. That's true. That was my bad. They had simmering tension. Then I tried to fix it and it became hatred. And now he's turned the whole locker room against Harper, like he did with Kurt Angle. So the chances are at one point Harper will need to go to SmackDown with Brother Bray. So Chad Gable hates him. Samoa Joe likes Chad Gable. John Morrison hates Harper. Simon Gotch. Carl Anderson. This is going to be Raw and SmackDown. Shit, because it's a pay-per-view. Charlotte. Aiden English. Billy Kidman. Liger needs time to heal. Scott Armstrong. Cesaro. Chikero. Ziggler. Kalisto. Sabre Jr. AJ. And as I say, they're 3K for the drug testing at 1.54. Disappointing, but see, and John Cone, the referee, also hates Luke Harper. So I'll keep that there, so I need to remember a few things. But Prestige is up at 100, Momentum is at 93. We made 19 million last month, 11 million off pay-per-view, so still pretty good on pay-per-view. We'll just need to see what happens going down the line. As I say, we'll be doing 2 pay-per-views again a month. But we'll get the network up soon. We'd like another 11 million, so I think WrestleMania is probably the best time for that. I've got a lot of morale issues that I need to take care of. But as you can see from the schedule, the next event is 2 weeks, and it is Armageddon. Armageddon is a Raw pay-per-view. I need to get a logo for that. And TLC is the SmackDown one. So hopefully we'll get more people happy. But I'll say in that 2-week block, that's where we'll get our championship sorted to own to Bray Wyatt and move forward. Because if I just quickly go to John Cena, I'll do that first. Just to clarify, if you go to his title history, 12 WWE Championships and 4 World Heavyweight Championships. You can see there 2 at the same time. So he now definitely has 16 world titles. And he can level with Ric Flair, but the real storyline will be him surpassing Ric Flair. So just want to check 2 last things before we go. Our main eventers, we're just going to check their overness. So starting with AJ, is reckon about 87, 88. Del Rio's down at 73s. Paulie Cruz has dropped a little bit because of a few defeats at the Grand Prix. Baron Corbin's a main eventer. He's up at high 70s, low 80s, so he's came across well. Big E, low 80s. Bobby Roode, 60s, 67s. Braun Strowman, up at the 86s. Big Braun is getting over like nothing else. If we just quickly go into Braun, you'll see here popularity from 48 to 86 in some places in the space of 2 months. Putting him with the Wyatts has been a great decision, bringing him back. Bray Wyatt's down to 94 and 93. He was up at 100. So it's still a great increase for Bray, don't get me wrong. As you see, actually, yep, last month it was up at A-star 100, so not doing anything at the pay-per-view, probably hampered him. But he'll probably gain back up. Cesaro, 95s, 94s, 93s. Punk, 90s. Dean Ambrose, 93 across the board. Ziggler, 73, 74. Finn Balor, 93s, 94s. Cena, 97, 98, so we can make him the face that runs the place as our main man. KO, 87s. Harper's up at 90, so that's the problem with all these simmering tensions, because the guy is now over. We have gotten Luke Harper properly over. As you can see there, even like a couple months ago, the Grand Prix certainly helped him in terms of overness. Randy Orton, 90s as well. Roman Reigns, 100s, 99s, 98s. Rusev's mid-80s, Sami's low 90s, Seth low 90s, Nakamura low 90s, Miz high 80s, and Togi high 70s. So we've got a lot of guys over to cover two brands, certainly in a much better position than we were at the start of the series. So we'll quickly go through the titles. Obviously Andre the Giant still C plus 70. Zack Sabre Jr. hasn't changed, hasn't defended it. So that's C plus 71 still. A100 for Roman Reigns, so the guy's over, he's had the title since June. It's doing well there. C62 for Kenny Omega. Intercontinental Championship is a C plus 71 for Apollo Crews, who's had it since April. Your Money in the Bank holder, of course, was Sami Zayn. The last Rumble winner was Seth Rollins, who's going to win the 2018 Rumble. I know who it is. Paige, losing the title to Emma, has a C plus 70 for the SmackDown Women's Championship. As you can see, I've put some of the new belts in. Just really a case of waiting for her to come back from injury. Your Trios Championship, C65, and it is of course the Wyatts, Harper, Corbin and Strowman. The US Championship's the C71, and that is of course the Miz. Your Women's Championship on Raw, Bayley, so we've now had Charlotte have it, Becky have it, Sasha, Paige, other runs for Becky and Sasha, and now we're going to give Bayley a little chance to have the championship. Your Women's Money in the Bank is of course Emma, she obviously cashed that in. Your Grand Prix winner was John Cena. As I say, you can let me know in the feedback if you'd like to see this happen more often, or just do a King of the Ring type format. World Tag Team Championships with Jordan and Gable. We'll put that as a Raw exclusive championship and then bring in the SmackDown ones. If I just quickly, I'll do this before that. World Heavyweight Championship, B82, as I say, that's going on Bray Wyatt this coming week on SmackDown. So if I just go to filter and go to any status, WWE Tag Team, you see the belts are in, and they have to raise the prestige. So apart from it, that is pretty much everything. Nothing else has really changed in terms of the franchise players. They're all the same. Next big thing's been the same for ages. Mia Yim has came to the main roster. She goes to ECW alongside Mike Bennett. But apart from that, nothing else changes, and we carry on. So thanks for watching, guys. It's deeply appreciated. We'll begin back to our normal schedule of one video a week every Sunday. And yeah, hopefully you're ready next week for your first ever exclusive event, which will be Raw and Armageddon. So thanks for watching, guys. It's deeply appreciated. And hopefully I'll see you for that. So again, as always, any comments, any likes, any subscriptions, deeply appreciated. Any feedback, any even conversation about your own saves, let me know. If you have any issues with the game, we'll try and sort it. And of course, if you're looking to start up YouTube and yourself, check out the links below for best places to advertise, start and get noticed, which is of course the GDS forums and the Fantasy Bookers subreddit. So I shall see you hopefully next time. Bye bye.